Hi, this is Les Goss with the Metro Real Estate Group in Colorado Springs. I'm here to walk you through this 18-page document that's a legal binding contract that you will sign as either the buyer or the seller. So you need to pay attention to this. There's a lot to go through, and I will break it down into sections. So hopefully it's not overwhelming, and you can pick whichever section you need to look at, or you could go through step by step if you do it that way. First of all, this is in effect as of January 1st, 2019. If you're viewing this before then, you'll be using that contract that's in effect then. If you are seeing it anytime after January 1st, this is the one that you'll be using. This is a contract to buy and sell real estate, just residential. There are different ones for commercial, which would be anything 5 units and more if you're looking at a residential place, or it could be office or retail. The other one would be land. So I'm just going to go through the residential. So this is a contract that is written up generally by the buyer with the buyer's agent helping and presented to the seller or the seller's agent. So the day that you turn this in is the date that you put here. This agreement says the buyer agrees to buy and the seller agrees to sell based on everything below, which is the contract. So the first part is the buyer. If you, let's say, are buying it with your wife, you'll both put your names in here. Sometimes you'll put in your middle initial. And if it's an entity like an LLC, that would go in here. If you're buying it by yourself, your name will go in here. And then these three boxes are very critical. You need to make sure you get these correct. If you are doing this, say, with your wife, you will check joint tenants. This means that if one of you dies, the other one automatically gets full ownership of the property by themselves. And when you sell, both of you need to be on the sales contract. So you will own it together and you will sell it together. If one of you dies, the other one gets it automatically. If you have a different situation, perhaps let's say I'm going to buy a house with my cousin. I'm going to buy it as a tenant in common with him, and both of us have our own individual ownership of the property, which we can do with what we like, which means when we sell it, we can sell it together, or I can sell my ownership separately to his. So, and if I would die, it wouldn't automatically go to him. The property would go to my heirs. The other category is for several things. It could be if you're buying as an LLC or a family trust, or if you're buying it by yourself. In the latter case, what will go in here will say in severalty, and that just means you're buying it by yourself. No assignability means once you sign this, you can't transfer it to anybody else by any means. It's just between you and the seller. Then the property description is very critical. You're going to put down the county, and in my case it's El Paso County. Then this will be the legal description that the title company and the assessor has. You can find this generally at the assessor's website. If you look up the address, and it may say Lot 24, Block 15, Sub, Colorado, Old CC, Colo Spugs, or something like that. It'll be relatively short. If it's got all kinds of feet and angles and distances and so on, that's the legal description. Needs to be fully put in there correctly. The title company will go through this because this is the actual legal description of what you are buying. Then it's known as the street address. So then you put in the street address to cut city, state, and zip here. And with interest easements and so on, they go on with this. If you have any questions about any of this, by the way, be sure to check out a real estate attorney, not just any attorney, but a real estate attorney who can help you with any of this if you don't get it. No real estate agent is allowed to practice law. We can tell you our interpretation, but we are not attorneys. We do not practice law. If you've got a law question or a clarification question, go to a real estate attorney for sure. And that's all we're going to talk about on this one. Hope it's been helpful, and we'll go on to the next one if you are with me. Talk to you later. Bye.